Hello and welcome. It's morning and the weather outside is frightful. Uh, it's because it has rained. I want to paint today. I want to finish the commission if possible. I don't know if it's possible. Well, it is definitely possible, but at what cost? I have some coffee here. I'm not feeling that well just because probably of the things that I ate and because I consume too much social media every day. It's easy to just listen to things in the background when I'm painting. So I end up listening to 3, 4, 5, 6 hours of things. And it kind of drains me because it consumes a lot of attention. So I don't know. My goal to get way more hype and way more energy hasn't been a success. And we'll see if I can succeed later on in the year at this challenge. When it comes to sports, I've been actually a bit better at it because I am able to do sports a lot faster. I'm able to do fast movements and more. So, in that regard, it's amazing. But in overall demeanor, it's a bit harder to get that energy going. I don't know what it is. I don't know how people do it. We'll see if we can crack this. More coffee. And I don't know. Should we accept it? Should we be okay? I'm 30 now, so I don't have the energy that I was having when I was like 17. Or is it just we are we have so much like romance thinking about the past and thinking that we had so much more energy, but I can distinctly remember some days. And probably that's the idea. There were some days where I was super hype. Do we accept? That's the point. Do we accept that now everything requires effort and it requires you to expand your energy to expand? I don't know how to say this, but like you understand the idea to go out there and put out energy instead of just not needing to push yourself to do things. Is it a requirement, as in, do you need to do this all the time from now on? Or is it just either a period or less than that, just an idea that you can get over? We wish we had an inspired and motivated and hyper energetic life. Is that possible? Or is everyone else faking it? All the gurus and all the. Is it a problem that has been created by over editing and not all of over editing, but also just people who push themselves way too hard, because we cannot judge if someone is faking high energy or if they have it. We can't see their internal feeling about the output that they have. Are they expanding, like giving out their 200% of what they have just to look good on the camera? Or are they just incredibly hype? Question is, do we need to be incredibly hype? Be like, yeah, because you can do this. You can energize yourself and be like this. And you can do it for 1 hour, 2 hours, 5 hours. You can do that. People have been doing it on the internet for as long as you can remember. It takes effort. And I'm wondering, is it okay to do that? Does it help you become that person? That's a test to do. Not only a test, but like, do we have to do it? Do we have to be there? Is it required in order to become this energetic person? Because I do want to be that energetic person. I don't know why. Just feels as if that kind of person has a lot more oomph, a lot more life within them. Let's name it life force. But it's an interesting thing. I don't want to become those YouTubers who scream at the camera. "Ah!" No, definitely not. But is there a version of that where you are speaking with energy and without the need to feel as if you are exaggerating? I don't know. Is it just turning up the dial? Because I think that's what it is. People are not super hype all the time. They just turn up the dial. And do we need that? That's the question. Do we need to be like that? Does it come with some benefits? Does it come with some things, some unintended consequences that are positive? Some unintended positive consequences. Basically, what I'm trying to do is figure out a way where I can be like that, because I think it will solve my motivational problems, even though I solved motivational problems a long time ago, like 3 months ago. Not a long time, but 3 months ago, I solved all my motivational problems. And it has to do with just building momentum. That's what it is. Because I've noticed, and I have so much proof of the fact that momentum works, because whenever I stop doing the things, I find myself just doing the same things later on. By by later on, I just mean days. After a few days, I just find myself painting again, just because I've painted like 6, 7 paintings in the last week or so. And then I find myself doing it again and again and again. And I think that's the point. And even when I didn't feel like it, yesterday I wanted to quit the meditation challenge. So, yeah, that's even when I didn't feel like it, I still did it. twice, 1 hour in total. So motivational problem is done. But you want to, like, I'm getting fancy with it because I don't want to just do the thing. I want to feel amazing about doing the thing. So yeah, that's getting fancy with it. So I'm going to try to solve this problem. Well, if it was a problem, I would have solved it by now, but it's a nice to have. I would like to feel as if I'm not expending energy, which I don't because I don't force myself to be in that hyper expressive state. But I would like to have a more energetic expression type, let's say. So there is a desire there that I want to explore. And just like that, it's night. And I was explaining how just a few degrees in temperature, it really changes your whole entire experience about things. Like just a few days ago, it was so hot. Well, it's not as hot as it's gonna get this summer, but it jumped quite drastically, and it was like super hot outside, super hot inside, and I was so I just didn't want to do anything just because it was so hot and unbearable. And I've been lazy for the last, I think, 7 years. I said to myself, "Oh, I'm gonna install an air conditioning," and I didn't. So, but I think this summer I have to, just because I want to keep this going. And like 4 days ago or 5 days ago, I just didn't want to even meditate in that heat. It was a heat wave, not a huge one. It's gonna get 10 degrees more. So that's gonna be crazy hot, like 40 degrees, and it's gonna be super, super bad. And even at night, like now, if I opened for 2 hours, I had the window open, and it's super great inside now. It's also raining outside. That's why it's a bit colder. But in the summer, even if you open the windows, it's like, no. You sweat all night. It's crazy. And I think it's time. After 7 years, it's time to really press the trigger and get an air conditioning, even though it's not very good for the environment. I'm not. I told a friend of mine, I told him, like, look, I am the most um, ecologically minded person just because I don't want to spend money on things and I want to like squeeze all of the juice out of it. For the longest time, I think for 5 years, I didn't have a refrigerator just because the shop is outside, just across the street, the shop that I'm buying from. And I was like, why would I have a fridge if I can just go out? And I don't like eating food from 2 days ago. So I'd never bought a refrigerator until I was gifted one. Someone was moving and they were like, "What do you want?" Well, the washing machine and the. So I changed the washing machine and I got a refrigerator. So that was good. So for the longest time, I didn't have a refrigerator, and now I have a small one. So that's people are always so amazed at the how cheap my electricity bill is. But I'm like, I don't use electricity for almost nothing than light and computers. So, and my computers don't take up a lot of energy just because they are laptops. I don't use big stations, big workstations, and I don't have things that constantly use electricity. So, yeah, well, my bill will start adding up once I get a air conditioning, but I don't think I can because I was doing the calculations in my mind and I was like, I will lose so much productivity if I don't get one because I will not be able to endure 40 degrees Celsius inside the house, and even more because the building gets so hot because of the blazing sun, and the sun comes up exactly when it comes on this side of the building exactly when the heat is the strongest at 1 o'clock, and it doesn't go off until 8. So it's like sun just going in, and it perpetuates during the night a few hours because the building got so hot. And yeah, it's awful. And yeah, I should get an air conditioning because it's something that will pay for itself. Even though I don't want to, I will do it because it's necessary for me to be able to work from home. And it's good for ventilation as well because I'm gonna buy one that has ventilation as well. So it's gonna be good to get all the fumes, the painting fumes out of the house. I'm gonna go in bed and edit the videos that I filmed today. Thank you for watching and see you tomorrow.